There's multiple reasons why I don't feel very hopeful in the future of Canada here. Economic, obviously, that's a big one. Political, the way that things are going, the way our politics are kind of intertwined with globalist agendas, corruption in our government. Canada is known, if you do not know, as the money laundering state. Common for people to come here, businesses, big corporations to come here and launder their money. Criminals, uh, the whole thing with Trudeau and the Lavalin scandal, and there's a whole lot of scandals with our government and whatnot. So you can start there with that, with the corruption in the government. We could go to the financials, I guess. You could say that our housing market is just completely garbage for anybody of my age. I mean, 35, anywhere from 35 and under is kind of absolutely shafted for getting into the market. You can't get into the market right now unless you've been set up with an opportunity. Very difficult to get into the Canadian market. Housing prices for a condo in Toronto are just absolutely insane right now, although they are dropping because of the recession. People can't afford anything because everybody's losing their job right now with tariffs and everything going on. The future for Canada is not looking very good right now. It's looking like people are going to be struggling. The first quarter numbers have come out and they're saying there was a 2% or something like that increase, which I don't understand, because if I look around at businesses, I live in a downtown core, and I look around at businesses, and my wife works in a restaurant, and it's like weekends, this breakfast restaurant isn't very busy. The downtown isn't very busy. And I mean, we're the beginning of June. Like, this is supposed to be the coming in. We're starting high season. So for things to be kind of shaky right now goes to show that everybody's just kind of unaware with the market. Everybody's just kind of sitting on their money. People don't want to be spending their money right now with the way that the tensions are. There's tariffs, there's war, there's everything going on. People don't want to spend their money. So we're more than likely headed into a recession here. And then with the rise of AI and all that thing, that's going to put a bunch of people out of jobs. And that's just a whole nother topic in and of itself. But there's just too much division in the country. There's too much division. People don't want to see eye to eye. Trying to have a conversation with people is difficult. People are very tense. There's a lot of tension right now. Especially with the migration issue. That's a whole nother issue with the country as to why I feel like Canada's falling. That's an issue that is fueling the housing market issue, that is fueling the job loss issue, is our migration issue. We have a lot of migrants that come into this country, and unfortunately, they come here and either they get put into housing, common like government housing, which ends up leading them into bad scenarios, or they don't achieve that and they go into these tent cities that we have around the GTA, Toronto area, and these big, the big cities. We have these big tent cities inside them. So we have a lot of problems going on here. It's a boiling pot, and honestly, the pot's been boiling for quite some years now, I would say. At least 8 years this pot has been boiling. I used to be somebody that used to be very proud of being Canadian, being here. My parents came from Brazil to come here, give me a better life. I used to be somebody that was proud of Canada until I started seeing the direction everything was headed. Somewhere around, I would say 2018, I started seeing how things were going and the direction it felt like we were being pulled. And I lost a lot of my dignity in being Canadian. It's like I don't see much prosperity here now, and honestly, I'd rather be going back to a third world country. I'd rather go back to Brazil. I'm honestly considering moving back to Brazil because I see more prosperity and opportunity for me over there. If I would like to open up a business, there's just less red tape. Here, there's just so much red tape. So what kind of opportunities do I really have here? I got to jump through so many hoops, and I can only jump through so many hoops because my money can only take me so far. So it's just like to play the game here, it's very hard. And once you get your foot in the door, it's like, is it a little bit easier? Sure, but I know people that have businesses that are even talking about how you got to play the game, right? So it's, I don't know, man. Like the whole bureaucracy here of Canada is it's just kind of brutal. It's like, not to mention that I feel like, if I want to get into conspiracies that they're messing with our food and stuff like that, but you gotta remember the fact too that Alberta also wants to separate. Quebec wants to separate now. So Alberta provides most of Canada. It's Alberta provides Canada with most of our energy. Most of our Canada's energy comes from Alberta. Um, so if they leave, that's a huge issue for Canada. If Quebec leaves, they would also be a huge issue. Do I really think they're going to actually end up leaving? I'm not too sure. I think it's more smoke than it actually is anything else. But listen, it's everything's a possibility at this point. I mean, like a lot of people didn't think that what's happening over in Israel and Gaza would happen, and look what's happening. A lot of people didn't think what's happening in Russia and Ukraine would happen, but it's happening. So, you know, there's that.